Chapter 1 Matter in our surroundings. Matter. Air, water, stones, sand, clouds, pencils, books, everything is made up of matter. Matter is everything in this universe that occupies space and has mass. Constituents of matter. According to the early Indian philosophers, every living and non-living things is made up of 5 basic elements called the Pancha Tattva. Air, water, earth, sky and fire. Therefore, matter is a composition of these 5 constituents. Physical nature of matter. These matter continues are particulate matter particles. Matter is particulate in nature. This means that matter consisting of particles, as you can see in the microscopic image of a cube above. For example, if we put a drop of red color in water, the color of the water turns red. This happens because the particles of red color mixes with the particles of water. 4 characteristics properties of matter are: particles of matter have space between them, particles of matter are very small, particles of matter attract each other, particles of matter are in continuous motion. Particles of matter have space between them. Aim: to prove that particles of matter have space between them. Materials required: glass beaker, marker, water, sugar or salt and glass rod. Procedure: take some water in a beaker and note its level. Dissolve some salt or sugar in it with the help of a glass rod. Observation: the salt dissolves in the water, but the level of the water does not change. Conclusion: this is because of the particles of salt get into the space between the particles of water. Glass beaker containing water, adding salt to in it, stirring, we get salt particles same level. This shows that the particles of salt get into space between the particles of water. Particles of matter are very small. Aim: to prove that particles of matter are very small. Materials required: potassium permanganate, 5 glass beaker, glass rod, water and measuring jar. Procedure: dissolve 2-3 crystals of potassium permanganate in 100 ml of water in a beaker. Take 10 ml of this solution and dissolve in 100 ml of water. Take 10 ml of this solution and dissolve in 100 ml of water. Repeat this process for 5 to 6 times. Observation: this shows that a few crystals of potassium permanganate get color a large volume of water. Conclusion: a small crystal of potassium permanganate consisting of number of tiny particles. In the diagram, 100 ml of water, if we add potassium permanganate with the 10 ml, we get the color changes in every by adding 10 ml to that water. Particles of matter are continuously moving. In the box, the particles are moving. Particles are continuously moving. Particles of matter are in motion all the time. Hence, they possess kinetic energy. Kinetic energy. Energy due to motion. The particles of the matter intermix on their own with other particles of a matter. For example, salt in water, various gases in the air, ink in water. Diffusion. The process of mixing 2 different types of particles together is called diffusion. Diffusion becomes faster on heating. Before diffusion, after diffusion, the kinetic energy of particles also increases on heating. Particles of matter attract each other. The particles of matter are always held together because of a force of attraction between them. The amount of this force between the particles varies in different forms of matter, as shown in the figure below. Solids have the highest force of attraction. That is why we cannot move our hands through a solid object. The particles are so tightly bound. Similarly, particles of gas have least force of attraction in them. We can move our hands easily in the air, can't we? This is because the particles of air are loosely bound. We can arrange the force of attraction between different types of matter, solids, liquids and gaseous in increasing order, as we can also move our hands through water or liquid matter, but not as freely as we can in the air. This means that they are also loosely bound to some extent. Gas less than liquid less than solids.